Good morning, beautiful people. It is a feel-good Friday, January 10th, 2020. Big news day today. Talking about the divisional round games this weekend. Talking about the national championship, which I will be at on Monday. I will be down there in New Orleans. I guess this is kind of breaking news because it is official. I will be calling the national championship game alongside Adam Amin, Steve Levy, and Dan Orlovsky in a megacast on ESPN2.
All right.
Woo! Now, when I just said what I just said there, I said alongside. That's actually completely false because we're not next to each other. Me and Adam Amin will be on the LSU sideline, okay? Handhelds, able to roam. Steve Levy and Orlovsky will be on the other sideline. We will all be calling the game. The play-by-play person gets to I don't think I fully understand it. If the ball goes towards our sideline, Adam Amin's play-by-play guy. If the ball goes towards LSU or Clemson's sideline, Steve Levy's play-by-play guy, and me and Orlovsky are just bouncing off of each other the entire time. I'm excited to see how this goes. I mean, I'm not even 100% sure that's the rules, but I was told it was a lot of fun. I guess what Adam Amin told me is going to happen, what his Twitter told me is going to happen is everybody's going to turn it on and think it's like the normal broadcast, and then we will start getting very mean tweets to us about like this is not how a game's supposed to be called. And I guess that's the point of a megacast. I guess there's a coach's room where a bunch of coaches watch the game, and you can listen to them. I think this is going to be kind of pretty awesome.
Do you know which channel of the ESPN channels you're on?
I think ESPN2. I think
Okay.
I'm not. Well. The first time this was mentioned to me, they told me ESPN2. I have not been told that it is ESPN2 since then, and I think a lot had happened since then. So I'm just going to say ESPN2 because in my brain that is what's being said right now, but it could be anywhere.
I believe I saw in print that it is on ESPN2.
There we go. Ty saw it.
Hey,
okay.
Megacast is a great idea.
I think it's very smart. It was a cool idea whenever it was pitched to me. And when it was being pitched to me, I thought it was all BS. I was like, there's no way. We're just going to roam? They're like, yeah, you get your own. You guys, you kind of have your own handheld. You're allowed to kind of go wherever you want down there, and you just call the game from the sideline. I'm like, all right. Is there a telestrator? And they're like, I asked Orlovsky that yesterday. I was like, Orlovsky, is there a telestrator? He goes, I don't know, actually. That's a good question. What if I'm just walking around with like one of those iPads, like pull it out of the back pocket? Now, if you look right here, Dan, this is right where the hole was, you see, and they drove right down the center of it, and the punter dropped the ball. I can't wait. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm watching a bunch of Clemson and LSU film this weekend. I'm going to try to Romostradamus that thing a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've heard that gets you $10 million a year.
It does.
I think I could do that. We're going to find out. Also, divisional round games, we'll break down every single one of them. Big Ben Roethlisberger is skinny, apparently. A picture was just released of Big Ben Roethlisberger, who had looked rather large this season because he wore like 45 jackets, I guess. And now he just took a picture with Franco Harris. It was posted on a Twitter account that I'm blocked from viewing at Steelers Empire, but it looks like Ben's ready to go, by the way. He might be on the TB12. Ben Roethlisberger might have got on the avocado ice cream, and Ben Roethlisberger might be playing for another 10 years. Good news for you in Pittsburgh.
No,
and Ducky Hodges, you have a great backup quarterback for the next decade or so, a guy that can really bring the electricity into the building. I was told Patrick Reed is under some fire on the internet for another thing. The only way I know Patrick Reed is I had a USGA Twitter suspension, basically, because I posted a video of Patrick Reed taking his wedge and busting it over his knee, and I did play-by-play over that. I got cease and desisted, suspended from my Twitter account, this whole thing. So I immediately hated Patrick Reed from that. But then I had a call with the USGA. They took the thing away from me. I got back on the Twitter. The video's back up, and I know nothing else about him. I kind of bygones be bygones. I'm back alive. I'm back. And now everybody's saying he's the worst. He's the worst. And I don't know why. I'm excited. I think today should be the day where I find out if this guy's being wrongly accused with his the slander against him and the things that he's done, or if he's just a bad guy. I guess we'll find that out. We got a big one for you. 1-833-622-3331. Please join us on this Feel Good Friday. Derek Johnson, linebacker for the Chiefs, who was a linebacker in the NFL from the year that I graduated high school and played linebacker in the NFL very well. 4-time Pro Bowl, 2-time all the way through my college career, all the way through my NFL career, and then 2 years after I retired, this guy played linebacker in the NFL. Can't wait to talk to him. Obviously, Butkus Award winner from Texas and 2-time All-American. And then we also have Michael Lombardi in the second hour to give us his picks. Last week, he picked Vikings to go in and win, at least cover against the Saints. So he felt good about that. But he also is the one that talked us out of betting the Titans.
Correct.
He literally talked us out of betting the Titans. He has a big brain. I'm excited to chat with him also about what potentially happens with Tom Brady, which we'll obviously dive into because Giselle just posted something on Instagram that I think, Giselle is his wife, obviously, that I think is about, real life things. But the boys in the office really think that's 100% about what Tom Brady's going to do with the Patriots. It's 10:06. Evan Foxy, play some Chase Rice.
It's the perfect occasion for a little vacation from the heart of the nation. Not your medication, 2 hours of magic. Let's give it a go. Ladies and gents, it's the Pat McAfee Show. It's the Pat McAfee Show. It's the Pat McAfee Show.
You're damn right it is, Chase Rice. I'm joined by all the boys here. Boston Connor, who has basically had to come to a realization that the Patriots dynasty is just about dead. Boston Connor's on a couch. How are you, pal?
I'm doing well. I'll never come to that realization, though, so Dynasty's still on.
Well, I mean, you have to realize
Well, actually,
that it is.
Do I have to?
Hold on, though. Now, this is something that's so interesting because Patriots fans, and I am specifically doing this to Connor on a regular basis because this is something that they have potentially done to everybody else for the last 20 years. Who says, though, that with the best coach of all time, that even if they do have to completely rebuild, that they won't be good next year? I mean, it would be like a rebuild for a team, which is normally a new coach at a new place. Who says that Bill Belichick can't just do this whole damn thing over again? Everybody's talking about Tom Brady going somewhere else and winning and being like, yeah, Tom can do it without Belichick. What if Belichick just coaches for another 15 years? What if he coaches for another 15 years and just does it all over again? Wouldn't that suck? I mean, that would suck for every human outside of New England. That would suck.
I'd love it. I mean, and the Steelers season this season is what gives me faith. Tomlin could do it without Big Ben. I think Bill can do it without Brady.
Hey, Tomlin, by the way, hell of a coach. Excited to see what they do. Ben looks skinny. At Nick Maraldo's on the ones and twos, playing the hack music all day. At Tone Diggs, Ty Schmidt, Jason McAfee, Viva La Zito, who has been twitching on a daily basis. We've been on the Twitch, Zito. Yesterday we played a driving game.
yes, we played Forza Horizon 4.
Okay, and I actually finished that game. The first day we did this NBA 2K20, I didn't make it past a minute into the third quarter.
We didn't know the buttons, though.
I
We
didn't-
had a different camera angle. We changed it. You did a lot better.
Yeah, see, I've never played it. I don't play video games. Really, truly never played growing up.
Thanks,
I played
Jay.
it a couple times because Jason McAfee was so good at video. I still think Jason could be a professional video game player if he actually focused on it. He used to just crush everybody. But how he used to crush everybody is because he was practice against me and he would just kill me. I would just get killed. So it finally got to I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. I don't know how old was I, like 7 or 8 probably? 9 maybe? I know. I made a promise to myself. I'm never playing this game again. And it was we're playing Madden. We're playing Madden. It was like 2, 3 a.m. There was a sleepover at my brother's friend's house. We were up there, and I was up on Jay. Okay, I think I was up like it must have been like 3 or 4, something like that. I was up like 4 in the fourth quarter with probably 6 seconds left, but it was fourth down for me, and he had called a timeout, so I had to punt the ball to him, and I punted, and Jay. With no time left on the clock was expiring, obviously, by the time the punt got to him. Jay caught it. He's like 12. I'm 8 years old. He caught it in a video game, and he took the punt return from his like 4-yard line all the way down to my end zone, beat all my guys, all of them. See you later. That was back whenever it had terrible graphics, too. So, like, the only way you had to miss somebody was just accidentally, like, stumble this way. He beat everybody, and then he turned around, okay, beat everybody again, back to his end zone, turned around, beat everybody again, scored a touchdown, beat me by 2. Okay? So he He did. He had a 296-yard punt return on me, okay, to beat me. And it was at that moment, 3 a.m. I was probably tired. I threw a fit. I said, I'm never playing this game, threw the thing down, and I stuck to it. I never played video games. So now I am still just as bad as I was at that age. I'm learning. I played NBA 2K20 the other day. I didn't score for 25 minutes. I had no idea how to score. I didn't even know how to do it. I don't know how people are good at video games. Zito's teaching me every single day on our Twitch.
Let's go.
It's been a good time.
Twitch.tv/the Pat McAfee Show.
It's / Jeez.
I heard it both ways.
So in 4 minutes, we have a guy that played NFL linebacker for like 45 minutes or 45 years. We should get to a break. And then on the other side, we'll talk to Derek Johnson about this Kansas City Chief defense that has been number 1 in the league since week 11. Number 1 in the league. Plus, you have Patrick Mahomes on the other side. How is that Chiefs team going to be stopped? I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if the Texans are going to do it. No offense to the Texans. This is just, I think what's happening here is a buzzsaw is getting hot in Kansas City. Or maybe the Chiefs upset them and do some magic like they did last week. Also, all the other things happening in the NFL. Are the Titans going to be the ones that beat the Ravens? People are saying it, but I think people forget how good Lamar Jackson was. Lamar Jackson, because we haven't seen him in a couple weeks, I think we've, what have you done for me lately? Somewhere there's a highlight reel of what he did just this year. I think we should all watch that and just remember what could potentially happen. And then the Niners and the Vikings is going to be good. Packers, Seattle. We got a good weekend. We'll lead it off with conversation with Derek Johnson on the other side. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
Ten years ago, I had an undiagnosed heart condition, and erectile dysfunction was actually the first sign that something was wrong.
Luckily, I'm a doctor, an expert in sexual health, and Zach's dad.
Not everyone has a doctor in the house, and some health conditions can be really tough to talk about. We started Roman to change that.
Now you can go online and chat with a physician.
And if treatment is right for you, we'll ship genuine medication right to your door. If you're experiencing ED, hair loss, cold sores, or other issues, let's take care of it.
I think we can make that some bangers. This is good. Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here. 17 minutes after the hour, whichever hour it is, depends on where you live. We are in Indianapolis, Indiana, and it is 10:17. Joining us now is a man that played linebacker in the NFL forever. I graduated high school in 05. He got into the NFL in 05. I retired in 2016. He retired in 2018. That's a long-ass time playing football at a very high level. Two-time All-Pro, Buckus Award winner from Texas, Derek Johnson. What up, Derek?
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the great introduction, my man.
No problem. You still live in Kansas City?
No, I had to get out the cold. I'm in Austin.
I respect that. Are you a Texas guy, born and raised?
Yeah, born and raised in Waco, Texas. I'm actually finishing up my bachelor's degree at University of Texas. So I'm chilling right now.
Hey, well, congratulations going back to school. Why'd you do that? It was just something you wanted to accomplish?
Well, yeah, my mom's a big educator. Been a teacher for over 40 years, so she's always got on me about, you got to finish your degree. Education is very important, and for me to tell my kids to make sure they go to college and finish their degree, I got to do it. I can't have that excuse. Hey, your daddy, made a lot of money in football, so I didn't need it. But you know what? It's going to pay off in the end.
Have you noticed any difference in the way you attack class or learning after playing in the NFL for so long?
Big difference. I mean, it's as far as the attendance and as far as just paying attention in class. Actually, it's actually not hard. If you pay attention and actually do the work, it's just, it takes a little bit of a dedication, but it's not hard. That's what I figured out.
Well, good for you. I'm happy for you. Congrats in advance on graduating. Let's move to this weekend. Massive games across the board, obviously. Let's go with one that you're probably most familiar with because you are a Kansas City Chiefs legend, the Chiefs and the Texans. Is there anything in you that makes you think that the Chiefs aren't going to be at their 100% A-plus play this week? It seems like Andy Reid off of bye weeks is incredible. It feels like that defense only got better the last half of the year. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. Is there anything that the Texans will be able to do to stop this, or is this going to be a buzzsaw?
You know what? This is going to be a really good game. Last game was good. Houston, Texas actually came out with the win in Arrowhead, which is hard to do. But I tell you what, in the month of December, Kansas City Chiefs have been, probably one of the hottest teams. 5-0. The defense is playing better, probably about 10 points a game. That's it, to have Pat Mahomes on your team and to average about 10 points a game, your defense is giving up. That's pretty good company. So I do believe that Chiefs will win, but the Texans definitely going to have to play better than they played last week at the first half. If not, Chiefs will be up on them really, really fast.
Yeah, I think if the Chiefs get ahead, it's especially with the way the defense is playing now, because they can go. Like whenever a defense is up, whenever the team is up, it's a beautiful thing for the defense. I think it could be a problem for the Texans. You played defense back old school football, right? You were in the NFL in 2005, 2006. I think there was still 3-a-days at the time, if I'm correct, right? I think there was. And you played all the way up until last year. You were in the league. You were with the Raiders for a year. What's the biggest difference on the defensive side of the ball from all those years, especially at the linebacker position? Like, what is the biggest difference in football that people aren't talking about, you think, or they do talk about?
The biggest difference now from then, a lot more 21 personnel, a lot more 12 personnel back in the day. They didn't pass the ball as much. It wasn't a lot of nickel defenses out there where you have less linebackers out there. So I was fortunate enough to be that linebacker that played first and second down on the running downs and on third down. That's the big key now. If you're playing a linebacker position, and nowadays you have to be kind of like that hybrid, that safety type of linebacker, just so you can cover. If you can cover and play zone defense and play man to man, cover tight ends and down the field and cover backs out of the backfields. I think you can play a long time in this league.
Is
for sure.
that why Baltimore's having so much success? Because linebackers have to be a little bit smaller. But you have it now with Baltimore. They got like 3 tight ends on the field. They got their 5 offensive linemen. They got a fullback that's blocking for Lamar. These little guys have to take on some big dudes now. And is that why Baltimore, you think, is having such success? Because they are kind of going against the grain and what everybody else has been doing?
I really do. That's a great point you bring up, because right now you got to be a cover. You got to be able to cover. If you're not a linebacker that can cover, you're not playing every down. And right now, if you play against the Ravens, if you're a smaller linebacker, a guy that specializes in covering, it's going to be a problem because they run the ball, 70% of the time. So it's one of those things. And I tell you what. Hats off to the Ravens. I tell you what, they got something that's working. That may be working for the next couple years. It'll slow down, of course, but at the same time, right now it's on fire. And Lamar Jackson is, he's something else. I mean, that's a guy I would not want to play against. I wouldn't want to play against.
He's been making people look stupid all year. Like, as a guy that was in the middle of my hometown stadium in front of like 20 of my family members and got shook onto the ground by Antonio Brown, it is very nice to see other people get shook and fall to the ground like what Lamar Jackson has been doing to people. Honestly.
You're definitely not by yourself on that one.
Hey, man, it's going to happen. Hey, it's going to. That's what as soon as I got to the sideline, I think it was Darius Butler came up to me, Pat, that stuff's going to happen. It was because it was embarrassing. It was a bad moment. So obviously you like the Ravens against the Titans, or you think the Titans showed something up there in New England that can maybe take that trip on the road?
You know what? The Titans are a very tough team. They're an underdog team. They got a chip on their shoulder, running with Derrick Henry and just keeping the game close, managing the game. Mike Vrabel's doing a great job with that team. I don't think they have enough weapons and star power just to go up there and beat the Ravens. So I do think the Ravens will win. Of course, I think the Chiefs will win. So that AFC Championship, I don't want to skip to the next week, but the AFC Championship at the Ravens in Baltimore, that's going to be something to see.
Hey, Baltimore's a tough place to play. I don't think they get enough credit. Their fans get enough credit. They are a wild bunch over it. Now, the Kingdom, obviously, Arrowhead is next level, but that can be a real weapon for teams. I don't think anybody gives Baltimore's fans enough credit for that.
Yeah, I mean that's that 12th man. I mean, it's hard to go in somebody's house and beat them. It's just the energy and just the crowd noise. It's a real advantage in Baltimore, Kansas City, Seattle, even Indianapolis. Because you know what? I mean, you were there, but this is still I still have nightmares about this. 2013, 2013 season, 38-10. We was up. And we lost it. I mean, that was my dream. We were on our way.
Playoff. That was wild card.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was playoffs. That was a big deal.
I'm still mad at you.
Hey, if it means anything, I was not a part of it. I was supposed to be a part of it. We were supposed to hit an onside kick. Early in the comeback. I had to check off because the look wasn't there. Kicked it deep, and honestly, I was like. I was calling myself soft. I was like, man, we're down. Like, this is a playoff. Who cares? Why don't you just kick it into like the 4 people you're not supposed to kick it into? Let's just see what happens. But then obviously Andrew Luck made his magic happen. We came back. That was a great game, but that place was wild. I mean, obviously they were witnessing a genie pull something out of a bottle for that situation. Sorry that happened, man. Really, honestly. And on the NFC side, Derek, who do you see representing the NFC in the NFC Championship?
Man, you know what? It was. I think Seattle will come out.
Oh, hold on.
I think I'm going all the way Seattle on the NFC side. I really am. Somehow I'm believing in this Russell Wilson deal. I think he would get the MVP of the league if Lamar Jackson didn't have the year he had this year, honestly.
Hey, Derek, I respect the hell out of that. You got somebody in this room that is a shareholder of the Green Bay Packers. He's not. He's not.
That's fine.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. He is big faith. We appreciate you so much. Good luck getting your degree back. Thank you so much for spending time with us down there in Waco, and good luck with everything, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
What are you going to do? Are you going to run a business or coach?
You know what? I have 5 boys. So you know what? My zone defense has gotten a lot better right now. So I mean, I'm very busy with kids right now. But my dream job is to always coach. I've always liked the X's and O's of coaching. But at the same time, my kids right now, from 11 months to 11 years old, I have to give back my time to them.
Hey, that's why you played all 3 downs, man. Good for you. All right, we appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Derek Johnson. Thank you, Derek. Good convo there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Hey, the hybrid linebacker. They used to do 3 a days.
It's insane.
I'll never forget whenever the new CBA came out and they were talking about the new rules for OTAs and training camp stuff. All the OGs were like, we're doing 3 a day. Like that, it was almost like tough to whenever they would come back, the alumni would come back, and they would like watch the practices and it'd be like a walkthrough in the morning, and then, okay, everybody go in and now we'll meet about what just happened and go to the training room. All right, everybody be fresh for a practice that's in the afternoon. Then we're going to go full speed for 20 periods or whatever. The alumni are just like, cupcake training camp. Cupcake training camp. It is crazy. He survived both of those eras. He did both of those. And he had to change how he played football too, which I was because whenever that change was being made on how people tackle, because nowadays obviously everybody knows the head injuries are a main topic of concern for everybody, for good reason, because Dr. Will Smith in that movie, the future is grim for people that get a lot of concussions, so they changed the game. But back in the day, those hits were promoted. Like, those hits were publicized. So people were learning how to tackle by making the you got jacked up tackle style, which was Ed Reed used to just, Ray used to, Urlacher. People used to slaughter people, and then that was the lead into the commercial break. That was the go back instant replay coming back out of commercial break. So people learned, the only way they learned how to tackle was by watching this stuff. And then they came in, they're like, oh, now there's a strike zone. You have to hit with your shoulder in between here and here. And a lot of guys got left behind because they couldn't change the way they would play or change the way they tackle. Like Bob Sanders, when Bob Sanders used to play, it was just like, good night, whoever could get it, could get it. I mean, it was just like the way he was. And I think he's athletic enough, obviously, to learn how to change how to tackle that. But that whole generation of football players was taught how to tackle, and then they had to change completely on the spot, or they're getting fined like $20,000 immediately. And they're like, "What do you want us to do?" And now this whole new generation has been taught how to tackle with their shoulder. It was just very interesting. He had to learn how to do that. That's an impressive. I don't think I would have been able to do it.
No, yeah, it used to be like, just get him down however you possibly can.
Yeah, tackle him through the ground. You don't tackle him to the ground. You tackle him through the ground. That was an actual statement. Now it's like when you get when he hits the ground, though, you need a barrel roll as soon as you get on top of him. It's like back in the day, they were like, listen, if you can touch the Earth's core with that guy, you take him down.
It was like Clowney last week, like 5-6 years ago, like no one would have said anything.
No.
And this year they're talking about like suspending him for all of next year too. I mean, it's absurd.
Well, it's a different game with a lot more. Whenever you learn more, obviously, it's something where you're like, okay, we probably should try to keep that out of the future of people. But back in the day, whenever the game was played with madness, it was insane. But I say all that was saying, I think every human that plays in the NFL knows there's an inherent risk.
Yes.
Right? So I think it's kind of like a fine balance that they have to find, because the future is very scary for some people. And the concussion movie, I watched that movie. I did not enjoy watching it. I was like, oh man, I feel like a couple of my friends.
I refuse to. I've never seen it.
Never.
Why?
I mean, I've had like 8 or 9 of them. I don't want to know what's going to happen to me.
Time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, I'll figure it out on my own.
It's already started.
Hold on. So you predicts?
No, it definitely has. Yeah.
Tell me the truth.
That's not it. I do know that's not it.
Oh.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
Dr. Will Smith. But I think so. You're a guy that would rather not know if something's happening to you.
Correct.
Hey, just let this thing show up out of nowhere and do it. That's a wild scene. I think whenever you get into it, though, you're going to be like, oh man, wish I would have maybe just took a little peek. Did you know that this time of year is the #1 time to get engaged?
Really?
So if you're in love and ready to get engaged, go see our friend Steven Singer, the I Hate Steven Singer guy. You've been hearing us talk about him for weeks.
And weeks.
And you might have seen his billboards, I hate Steven Singer. Other jewelers love to hate Steven. Why? Because Steven makes buying a diamond easy. No negotiating, no haggling, no nonsense, and no BS. Just one perfect price every day. And he has the best quality, best diamonds anywhere. Check out Steven's Ready for Love diamond engagement ring collection that is ready to go. Each diamond is hand-selected and picked by his real expert jewelers. No one selling online or anywhere else for that matter does it better than Steven Singer Jewelers. He takes no risk shopping to the next level with his full 100-day, 100% money-back guarantee and fast and free shipping both ways. Whether your budget is $500 or $5,000, Steven has the perfect engagement ring for you at the perfect price. Visit the real Steven Singer at the other corner of 8th and Walnut in Philadelphia or online at IHateStevenSinger.com. With free shipping, real diamonds, real experts, real jewelers, Steven Singer Jewelers. That's IHateStevenSinger.com with a V, not a PH, a V.
The correct way.
They got some gold-dipped roses
for
Valentine's Day. Pretty sweet. Going to the phones, 1-833-622-3331. On the other side, Uncle Todd said we have a good lineup on there. Gave me a fist pump. We're ready to rock. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
At some point in their life, 52% of all men will experience erectile dysfunction, but most of them never get treated. Now there's Roman, the digital health clinic for men. With Roman, you can get genuine medication prescribed by a U.S. licensed physician, all from the comfort of your home. If medication is right for you, Roman delivers it with free 2-day shipping and in discreet packaging. Get started with a free online visit today at GetRoman.com/TV. Roman, let's take care of it.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Let's get to the phones. Lane in El Dorado, Alaska. Hey, did you know a guy, and did you know you could, from Alaska, hop on a road, drive 16,000 miles and get to Argentina? Did you know that, Lane?
I had no idea until they did it for Michelin.
Oh, my guy Lane knows. All right, what do you want to talk about, brother?
All right, so all the talk about Tom Brady going to the Chargers or the Raiders, the best sense that it makes to me would be the Panthers. He's got DJ Moore down there, Curtis Samuel, and also Chris Hogan, who he used to play with on the Patriots, as well as Greg Olsen and Christian McCaffrey.
Lane.
Young Kyle Allen.
Lane. Adam Schefter said what yesterday? He said on Get Up, he said that just like the Denver Broncos popped out of nowhere in the Peyton Manning signing, look for a team to pop out of nowhere in the Tom Brady signing. He also said that it looks like Tom's leaving. I don't know. He alluded to the fact that Tom was leaving. Because anytime Schefter says something, you have to assume like this is inside information coming. He said, now, it's hard to separate, though, Schefter on Get Up
Right.
and Schefter on Twitter. Right?
Yeah.
Schefter on Twitter, news breaker, heads up giver. On Get Up, I don't know. I think he's doing that along with giving his opinion, which, by the way, very good television.
Mm-hmm.
It has made very good television, which I've enjoyed. But then me, as somebody who has followed Shefty for a long time, to not only learn information about the league, but also like my own team, because Schefter would know stuff about the team I was on before me, like my contract negotiations. Like if I was hoping, now great, I was so small and I was a punter, he would have never done it, but I was just hoping one day I'd get a heads up, like Colts are thinking of re-signing Pat McAfee. I'm like, oh, thank God. That would be great, because there's a lot of question marks. But whenever he says that a team's going to pop out of nowhere, that makes you think. And the Panthers are a team that would pop out of nowhere. I don't know if he would go to a first-time NFL head coach.
Definitely not.
Yeah, would Rule want him?
I don't know. I think, by the way, just like we've said about anything, I think everybody would listen to a Tom Brady conversation. But I don't know if, also 7 years, though. Would you start with a veteran? No, none of it makes sense.
I think if
you're right. You're 100% right. I think you have to listen to Tom Brady saying, hey, I wouldn't mind playing for your team, but I don't think there's any chance if you want to build for 7 years.
Wait. You're telling me the first time NFL head coach, you had a chance to get Tom Brady, and you say no?
I know. You have to say yes, but then you're screwed halfway through your career. But you still have Tom Brady. You have to get him.
Also, if you're trying to build a new culture and everything, though, like Brady has all this, like I think it'd be a little bit tougher to get him to buy into something like that than any other guy that you're going to bring in.
Agreed. I mean, Panthers. But this is what happens, by the way. We say this every day. Every team is maybe a conversation, aside from a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore, not a conversation. Kansas City, not a conversation. Seattle, not a conversation. All the teams that are left basically right now, basically. Yeah. Not a conversation. And, well, the Saints have become a conversation. Mm-hmm. So can't even say that anymore. So everybody's a conversation. No, he's not going to Panthers.
No way.
Hey, Panthers are not a conversation.
Nope.
They got Christian McCaffrey.
We're rolling him out.
Can't confirm?
Can confirm. Panthers are not a destination for Tom Brady.
All right, let's go to Daniel down there in Myrtle Beach. What a town. Daniel, what's going on?
How you doing, Patrick?
I'm good, man. It sounds like our roof is peeing at the moment, but everything's good. I thought Connor almost just got water on him because it's coming down over here in Indianapolis. How are you doing, pal?
It's a balmy 67 degrees in Myrtle Beach, so I'm not doing too bad.
Oh, my God. Are you golfing over? Like, do you guys get snow over there?
Not really. I'm actually from Ohio, so no snow. I am so happy.
Good for you. Myrtle Beach is a wild place. All right, what do you want to talk about, brother?
Well, I know we've been talking about Tom Brady for the past week, and unfortunately, Boston Connor, he's not going to the Saints. He's not even going to the Chargers. I think he should go to the L.A. Rams. We got plenty of offensive weapons. Todd Gurley, Brandon Cooks, he's familiar with, Cooper Kupp. Plus, on the defensive end, look at that defense. Aaron Donald, you got Jalen Ramsey, as well as a dynamic special teams. You said it. Johnny Hekker, best in the game. Yeah. You got Legatron, Greg Zuerlein.
Legatron. But okay.
The Rams.
Hold on.
I mean, it's the Rams.
Hold on. Couple quick questions. They couldn't even pay one of your best offensive linemen. He is now at the Titans leading their rush game to the playoffs, to the divisional round. How do you think they could pay Tom Brady with that contract they gave Goff? Oh, they're going to trade Goff? What team's going to take Goff in that contract, you think?
Tampa Bay.
I don't know who that is. Well, who'd you say?
Tampa Bay.
Oh, Tampa. Oh, my God. Because Bruce Arians, with the deep ball, Jared Goff has been able to throw the deep ball. And, hey, I don't need that in my mind, Daniel. I don't need the Rams to also be a possibility.
You think Tom's money motivated? You think he's going to ask for a lot of money?
No, but you're going to have to pay him something.
Yeah, I know that.
You know what I mean? Like, if you can't pay an offensive lineman, let's assume you won't be able to
Goff's
pay.
making 33 next year or something like that.
Goff's making a lot of money. And whenever we talked about Jameis Winston taking a deal that's like worth 20-some million and $25 million, I had a lot of people tweeting me like, oh, you don't think he deserves Goff money? I'm like, whoa. Goff, for all accounts, Goff took the Rams to the Super Bowl.
Correct.
No, he didn't take them himself. Great defense, whole thing. But he was a quarterback of a team that went to the Super Bowl. And also, because they paid Goff, they didn't even make the playoffs this year. So that's what I'm not saying he doesn't deserve what Goff. I think Jameis Winston's a very good quarterback. I'm not saying Goff's a better quarterback than him. I haven't really dove into that conversation on who's better. But I do know that if you pay Jameis Winston, the rest of the team suffers, which I think is what's happening in Los Angeles with the Rams.
Well, and you look at what they paid him and who else is in that division now. Like, that's why they probably aren't going to be able to compete with Seattle and San Francisco for the remainder of his contract.
Okay. Oh, speaking of Seattle, we had Derek Johnson on just a little bit ago. He was a linebacker for the Chiefs for 27,000 years, and then he was with the Raiders. He said that in the NFC side of things, he loves Seattle to take it all. Not just this weekend, take it all. Ty Schmidt was visibly upset during a commercial break because I didn't give him a chance to rebuttal to Derek Johnson. We kind of moved forward in a conversation. Ty, with all these people coming out saying that Seattle's going to go into Lambeau and get a win, how does that make you feel, and are you tired of it?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's fine. People can say whatever they want. People have been picking against the Packers all year. Guess what? We're a game away from the NFC Championship.
No big deal.
But everyone, Russell Wilson is really good. Last time, and he's playing better than Rodgers this year, 1,000%. No one would disagree with that. But last time I checked, the supporting cast is still pretty important in a football game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Seattle's D is garbage.
Whoa!
It's not good. And granted, the Packers isn't that much better, but they've been opportunistic, and they've done what they had to do all year long, and they've really ramped it up towards the end here. Seattle can't stop the run. They allowed the third most rushing touchdowns in the NFL this year. Guess who had the most rushing touchdowns in the NFL?
Who's that?
Aaron Jones did.
Oh,
Okay?
I didn't know that.
They also allowed 817 receiving yards to running backs, which was the fourth most in the NFL. Packers like throwing to him out of the backfield quite a bit. Their offensive line, Seattle's, very banged up. They don't know who's going to play at this point. Green Bay, two pretty good tackles on their offensive line. They got a good interior as well. It's at Lambeau. Russell Wilson's never won at Lambeau. Supposed to be cold. But, yeah, the Packers stink. They win ugly every week. They're garbage. So, yeah, maybe the Seahawks are a team of destiny this year. I think the Packers are going to beat the piss out of them.
Oh, is this, are you,
Yeah, give me that thing.
Yeah,
boy. Look for the Packers to win by at least 10-14.
Hammer. Good for you, Ty. I'm happy you did that. Would you have done that to Derek Johnson's face if I already gave you time?
Yeah, probably. At this point, and I think it is a lot of the old, the former players who are riding with Russell Wilson, and I understand that. But like I said, I think if you look at it, the Packers are a better overall team than the Seahawks are, although the Seahawks might have more momentum right now just because they played last week and they played well.
The interesting thing about Russell Wilson is that interview where Foxy cut it up and he used 35 cliches in a minute and a half?
Mm-hmm.
1 minute.
He did a 1 minute post-game interview, and he used 35 cliches positively and properly, by the way. He inserted these cliches into the proper places they're supposed to be. That's not easy. Everybody thinks being a cliche person is easy. It's not. To make it sound good, it is a very difficult mental task. What's up, Zeke?
How long was the interview?
A minute.
Like the whole interview?
A minute.
Oh, I thought he cut it up to be a minute.
No. He cut it up to be 37 seconds or something like that.
Oh, wow. So half the thing.
Yeah, more than half. It might have been 46 seconds. Foxy cut it up. This one post-game interview, he used 35 cliches. He is the most positive human. Maybe he's more positive than Tim Tebow. He's more positive than Tim Tebow. Russell Wilson is a guy where he just radiates with this positive optimism. And I respect it, and it seems to work for them because there's no reason they should win a lot of the games that they've won. I don't know anybody on their team. I have no idea. Jadeveon Clowney, know him. Michael Dixon, the punter, know him.
Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner, know him. Russell Wilson, know him. The Griffin brothers, I know them. But everybody else, Ty Lockett, Marshawn Lynch now, aside from that, you don't know really any. There's no big stars on that. Russell Wilson figures out ways to will himself to win. But I just don't know if he could do it in Green Bay.
That's a lot of cliches in a minute. I respect it, but what I respect more is Aaron Rodgers could beat that number with movie quotes in a minute.
I agree. Aaron Rodgers doesn't get that type of credit. And to that quote, Aaron Rodgers is one of the smartest dudes going. Not just he has won obviously the Celebrity Jeopardy like every time he's entered it. And he said he wants a shot at the actual Jeopardy. Update on Jeopardy Goat. What's going on?
Ken Jennings won again last night, so he's up 2 games to 1 on James Holzhauer.
Damn. For those that don't know, James is our guy. Real friend of the show. I've been texting with him throughout these Jeopardy Goat shows, asking him questions about like what he's doing.
He's struggling because Brad keeps taking all the daily doubles, which is his move.
Brad shouldn't even be there.
Whoa.
Brad shouldn't even be there.
Brad's had a great career. He's beat Ken a lot of times.
He's been outclassed.
This should have been
and
one-on-one.
You don't know.
Everybody knows this should have been one-on-one.
Brad should have been negative, too.
Yeah, Brad hasn't even got to Final Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Brad, I get it. Brad had his time. Brad was the first time to win 5 in a row before they had a cap on how many you could win. Brad's won the most amount of money, and Brad has got himself into great shape, by the way, after watching his. I'm happy for Brad making $4.7 million on Jeopardy. I'm happy for that. But anybody who knows anything about Jeopardy knows that Ken and James are just a different level. And it's their button game. It's how quick they are on the button. Like, Brad might know just as much as those two, but those two on the... It seems like he doesn't. I mean, he goes into the red. These guys don't even miss questions, and he's in the red. He's deeper in the red than communist Russia was. Yeah. How about that? Yeah. What was it, Soviet? Yeah, that's where you... But anyways, I don't like that Holzhauer's not getting the dubs, but I think Jeopardy's rigging this against him.
No.
Yeah. I saw a lot of books. Ken Jennings is a big book guy, and big Shakespeare guy. The first night they had like 17 Shakespeare categories. I'm like, come on, let's get one in for James. Let's get a little bit more sports. You ever see what he does with a sports category? Boom, 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 boom. The guy's made more money gambling on sports than he has in Jeopardy. I mean, he's our guy, James Holzhauer.
They're building up the comeback. I mean, he'll be fine. They just want to make it a little bit of an event.
Anyway,
it's going 7 games.
It has to, because they'll get Tim Donaghy in there for Trebek if they have to.
I agree with Ty about Seattle and Green Bay this weekend, but I also thought the same thing many, many times this year when going against Seattle. Like week 17, I thought San Francisco was going to blow them out, and then it looked like San Francisco was going to blow them out, and then somehow they come back and they're there on the last play of the game.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
They always play tight.
Green Bay plays tight too.
They do.
Yeah. Who's going to be able to pull it out at the end? Seattle's been winning close games. Green Bay's won a lot of close games. Who can pull it out in the end? Can the ultimate optimism at all times, or the greatest mustache, most talented quote machine, big-brained Aaron Rodgers take it home?
Give me the Packers at home.
All right. Nick, was there any news that we missed today in this first hour that we should have got to that we didn't? Because we are a live show that people listen to on Sirius, on Westwood One stations, on YouTube, on DAZN, and I think just the other day there was a Reddit stream.
Really?
Let's go.
I don't know what that is, but
Me neither. But I know if you get a Reddit stream, it's good news.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
There is. Last night, Nashville Predators goalie Pecorine became the 12th goalie in history of the league to score a goal, and the first since Mike Smith did it in 2013.
Hey, Big Pekka! Woo! Good for Big Pekka. How's that work? Who'd they score against? The Blackhawks?
Blackhawks, yeah. It's an empty netter.
No. Okay, so Blackhawks not good?
No, they're terrible this year.
We're off year.
A lot of injuries to their credit, but struggling. Team struggling.
So Bears fans had to go after this season right into this bad season. The Bulls got to be doing good though. The Bulls have to be like a pretty good team, right?
Bad not looking too good, but
terrible.
Just lost Wendell Carter for a couple games.
No, but like then the Cubs always come through for Chicago.
Next year is the year probably.
They didn't.
No,
they stink
fired
too.
their coach actually.
Oh, the White Sox that are also in Chicago. That's got to be coming.
No, they were bad.
They've
Forget
been
that.
good in like
They were
15
bad.
years.
Yeah.
Well, how about that subway that Elon Musk is going to build for
I
them?
think it's happening.
They're stealing all the money from Chicago.
But taxes on marijuana, we're back on top, guys.
All right.
Well said.
Amen. But they sold out of marijuana.
Backroom's having a tough time with their sports cities.
By the way,
Yeah,
Detroit,
Jay.
Chicago,
Come on.
Jason. But Illinois sold out of marijuana first day.
Is that possible?
How can you sell out?
Comes
How
from
do
the
you
earth.
not have
Comes
enough?
from the earth.
You know everyone's going to buy. you see How do you those not have lines?
I
enough?
think there's only a certain amount of people that can grow. There's only a certain amount of people that can buy. I think it is very controlled on who
It's
can do
limited
what.
sellers,
It's like
right?
selling out of trees.
Yeah, I think you got to really shake a lot of big hands. Like to get your stuff in there, and all the. I used to watch Moonshiners, and every time they tried to go clean or go straight, it was always just massive paperwork and this and regulations. I would assume your modern street drug grower is not getting into those offices.
Cuts into the profit margin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you ever seen Bush People on Discovery Channel?
Yeah, where they live out in Alaska.
Yeah.
Great show.
We stumbled on that the other day in the pub, and that was one of the great shows. Electric.
They got to take planes to get to places and boats. People live like that. Yeah. That's awesome. We got a caller from there. We got a call from
the show.
I don't even know how they listen to this show. Happy for them. Not a bad first hour. I mean, could have been better. Michael Lombardi's in the second hour. He'll give us all his locks for the weekend. Let's remember whenever we're talking to him that, yes, he did get Vikings right against the Saints, but he turned an entire room to bet on the Patriots when we all like the Titans. Yep. So we have a little grudge to kind of settle with this man, but he's been good to us all year. I can't wait to chat with him. Also in the second hour, more phone calls. 1-833-622-3331. Let's have a nice feel-good Friday here. Let's have a day. Live from Indianapolis, Indiana! This is the Pat McAfee Show. I have no clue why you listen.
Did you know over 60% of men experience significant hair loss by age 35? Some shave it or hide it, but some of us want to treat it. That's why there's Roman, the digital health clinic for men. With Roman, you can get personalized hair loss treatment and unlimited follow-ups from a U.S. licensed physician. If treatment is right for you, Roman delivers it with free 2-day shipping. Get started today with a free online visit at GetRoman.com/TV. Roman, let's take care of it.
It's the perfect occasion for a mental vacation from the heart of the nation. Not your medication, 2 hours of magic. Let's give it a go. Ladies and gents, it's the Pat McAfee Show. It's the Pat McAfee Show.
That boy's eat.
Pat McAfee Show.
You're damn right it is. Good morning, beautiful people. It is Friday, January 10th, 2020. Hour 2 is kicking off with all of the boys here in Indianapolis, Indiana, at Boston. Connor sitting on the couch. This morning, you read an Instagram post from Giselle that read as follows. Giselle posted on Instagram this morning a very deep quote about life. Boston Connor found it on his phone, sprinted into the group and said, Tom Brady's gone. Giselle said this, and I quote, "We are going through intense times in our personal lives and in the world. I feel that everything happening right now is trying to bring us more inward. It's asking us to reflect, to let go of judgments and whatever is holding us back. Find compassion and forgiveness within yourself. Think about your purpose. How can you put your qualities to help those around you participate in a cause that matters to you? Let's open our hearts, spread peace, be kind, accept and respect others, ourselves, and our planet. We must take responsibility for our part as the future is being created by each one of us right now." Exclamation point. Hashtag lunar eclipse.
We use the full moon.
Anyways, how in the blue hell do you think that has anything to do with Tom Brady and the Patriots?
Find compassion, respect others. I mean, it sounds as if she's just talking to Boston right now, saying if Tom leaves, let's be kind.
You don't think she's potentially talking about this? You know, there's a hashtag WW3 happening.
No.
There's fires in Australia. There's real things happening out in the world. You think this is hashtag lunar eclipse has to do with what Tom Brady is going to do to the Patriots? And are you paranoid and starting to buy in the fact that he's definitely gone and you just can't believe it?
I'm so paranoid that I made a tribute video saying goodbye to Tom Brady yesterday. So, yeah.
The writing's on the wall.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
It must suck for Giselle, though.
Yeah.
Listen, Giselle just posted something that was, by the way, motivating, inspiring.
Sad. Very sad.
So that pretty much told me Broncos.
Why is that? Why is that?
I mean, if you want to see the lunar eclipse, you want to be as close to space as you could possibly get, and that's mile high.
Oh, you're right.
Smart.
Is there a Utah XFL team? Is there a team in
Salt Lake?
In Salt Lake or in Utah that could have a higher altitude than there? What if Tom's going to the
Unless
XFL?
the team moves to Mexico City.
Raiders. Oh, no. Chargers, they say, are potentially moving out of town. Nobody's going to move to Mexico City, I don't think. But they were the ones they were talking about moving to Europe there for a little bit. That's crazy, though. Good luck to you, man. I can't believe Giselle. I can't believe Giselle was the stamp that really put it to you that knew Tom was gone.
You never think it's going to be Mrs. Brady, but here we are.
At Nick Morotto, at Tone Diggs, Ty Schmidt, Jason McAfee, Viva Lazito, Evan Foxy, and Todd McCombs is on the phones, 1-833-622-3331. We got a bunch of those. I think the news of the week this week was Tom Brady leaving, Mike McCarthy being hired to the Cowboys. We talked about that yesterday and how Jerry Jones and he tore down Jerry Jones' villa on Saturday night while Jason Garrett was still, I guess, the head coach in waiting, or head coach, just not told that he was gone yet. Mike McCarthy was introduced as the Dallas Cowboys head coach just 2 days ago, told Jerry right to his face he lied to him to get the job, which I think we all respect. Jerry Jones also learning of that in a very public fashion is awesome to think about. We think the Cowboys got better, right?
Yes. I actually heard this week that they thought they had like a raccoon problem in the vents at the facility, but it was just Jason Garrett like crawling around in the vents.
Oh, no. Tony, come on.
Thanks. I was trying to do a real recap.
He was like sitting outside watching. Do you think he was just watching in the window when Mike McCarthy and Jerry were having that sleepover?
Down.
If he treats him like a son, he probably has a house on the property, right? Probably has his own little guest house. He's over there watching. That's a shame for Jason Garrett. Hey, he's being interviewed for a job, I guess.
Yeah.
Is he?
They're saying he was going to interview.
Freddie's being interviewed for a job.
Oh, there
in
it is.
New York.
The Giants. He's going to be running back coach, just like Hugh Jackson had him as. But this week, Mike McCarthy goes to the Cowboys. Cowboys get better. Matt Rule goes to the Carolina Panthers. Nobody knows what's going to happen with the Carolina Panthers. Matt Rule talked about how he had a conversation on the phone with Cam Newton. He respected the fact that Cam Newton will tell him the truth. He's a compassionate guy. He's a known winner. But nothing in that real interview, because I don't think Matt Rule has any idea what he wants to do yet, because he was just kind of flown in and got the job out of nowhere. He didn't expect it. It sounds like they're not 100% sure that Cam Newton is quarterback of the future, and I don't think anybody knows. I know earlier today they said Tom Brady should go to the Panthers. Let's assume that's not going to happen. But I am pumped to see what Carolina Panthers and Matt Rule end up doing.
I think like I said, you have to keep Cam Newton, because unless you're in love with one of the players that you could draft, or because I don't think Kyle Allen or Will Greer were the answer this year at all.
Yep.
And then
he's $21 million.
There
Which
are
is
a lot of free agent quarterbacks.
He's $21 million. Andy Dalton will be out there. If you need a guy that just kind of, or Fitzpatrick might be out there if Tom Brady goes to the Miami Dolphins, which people are saying. But what if Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Bring him in. Bring him in. He'd complete the AFC East, play for every single team.
What if Ryan Fitzpatrick ends up with the Patriots? Oh, man. All of this is possible, by the way. All of this is possible because of the situation that Tom Brady's in, and that's why the story of the week has been Tom Brady. I think, obviously, Cam Newton may be the quarterback. That's something they're going to have to figure out. He was given 7 years, $62 million. He can do whatever he wants these first 3 years to figure out who his team going forward will be. He's going to have to win, obviously, because they're going to get antsy like every team does. But I think he has been given a lot of comfort and a lot of wiggle room to have mistakes and see if you want going forward.
It's interesting because I think Brady's going to be like in the NBA when free agency happens and teams don't start making moves until like they know where LeBron or Kawhi is going, and then they start filling in their teams. I think it's going to be a similar situation with like where's Brady going, and then we'll start signing the other free agent quarterbacks.
So when will March? I think is when Tom Brady officially becomes a free agent.
Yep.
Right. I believe March is the start of the new year. His contract is up then. I wonder how much of this will get done before draft and combine, because every team that is they're going to want to get every team that is potentially not the Patriots wants to get this done before the draft and combine, right? Just for exactly what you said. Because every team's like, all right, do we have a chance to get the GOAT? If we have a chance to get the GOAT, let's do that. And before we start looking at all these, we'll have scouts start doing it. But before we invest quality time into, finding out what our quarterback's going to be and stuff like that, I think this will get done in March, I think, for the sake of everybody.
What happens if there's not a new CBA by March? Or what? Does that throw another wrinkle in there?
And then there's a lockout.
Oh, boy.
And then Tom can't talk to anybody.
Same thing that happened to Peyton.
Yeah, because you can't talk to anybody. Nobody that legally, I don't know if it's legally or not, but the owners tell everybody on the organization side, do not even talk to the other side. Like I was playing for the Columbus Crew at the time. It's not really. I was playing alongside the Columbus Crew at their training camp during the lockout, and a news report went out, and it hit the internet, obviously, that I was over there playing, kicking some balls. And I had a third-party person who was a third-party person basically call me and say, hey, somebody at the Colts wanted me to reiterate to you that this lockout is not going to be forever. And if you get hurt playing for the Columbus Crew, you're probably going to regret that. And I was like, oh, who told you to say that? He was like, not allowed to say. I was told by somebody who was told, like, it was like that type of separation. So if a lockout happens and Tom's up in the air, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. He takes one trip to like the mountains or something with Giselle. He like goes to a beach or something. He's like, man, love the sand on my toes. Go to my. He'll be able to do this to the internet for however long he wants in all these talk shows. I'm pumped for that. Good idea, Diggs.
Thank you.
If that lockout happens, I mean, that will be beautiful. Beautiful.
Is that really? I mean, could that potentially happen? Or I thought they were saying like they thought it was going to get done for sure.
Well, so the CBA, the NFL, and the NFL released a statement that the CBA was near completion, almost early. They said they were going to be done. And on this show, whenever that news came out, I actually talked about it because I thought that was rather large news to the business side of things, because you have billions and billions of dollars being negotiated right now between two separate groups of people who don't always get along, the NFLPA and the NFL. So the fact that they're saying they were able to get it done early, I was like, this is massive news, because this means Now, it depends on how you look at it. Right? They say a jury comes back quick. It's normally good for this side or whatever it is. And there's outliers. In this particular case, if anybody, and let's assume it's the NFLPA, loses this negotiation, and it came out that it was done 6 months early, the NFLPA leadership is done for, right? They're absolutely done for, because the players would be like, you got this deal done 6 months before you had to, and it was a bad deal for us. The NFLPA leadership's out. DeMaurice Smith out. They look like bad guys, right? Now, if it's still a battle to the end, I think that's a big part of why the NFLPA does. The last time, I think there was a big battle over stuff that didn't really have to be a battle, I don't think, because it looks as if you're not trying to get every single dollar. Optically, it appears as if you're not trying to get every single advantage you can for your client or whatever. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like business should get done if, hey, we'll do this, you do this. But I guess that's not how it works whenever there's like 3,000 lawyers talking about it. I guess that's not how it goes.
Yeah, and I assume the big thing on the table is the 17-game season, which you've already fixed. So.
I've already fixed it. 2 bye weeks, 1 neutral site game. Let's go. Let's keep it moving.
It's not hard.
Hey, this is easy. We got 19 weeks of football now. Everybody's happy. Just one more. Come on. Because they ain't a win. Now, is it going to be tough for the players? Absolutely. But that's why they're going to get paid that much more. I think they're going to have to extend, because you get weekly game checks, right? I think they're going to probably have to 150% one. I think that's probably what it's going to be. I think it's going to have to be 150% for that last week or something like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm not negotiating. Should be. I'm not. 11-12 here. We have Michael Lombardi on the other side. Let's get to a break. We will get all the hammers and all the locks for this weekend. We are going to make money this weekend because, to be honest, there's not a lot of weekends left for us football humans to bet on football. I understand you can gamble in college basketball and the NBA and baseball. Can you gamble on?
Oh yeah.
On baseball and all that stuff. But if you're football people, I mean, I don't like just throwing my money into the wind in all this sport. These ones, we know what we're talking about, don't we? We have a winning record this year.
Yes.
Michael Lombardi has a winning record this year, and when he joins us on the other side of the break, we will get to it. You're listening to the Pat McAfee Show. Let's make some money. Let's bankrupt FanDuel on the other side of the break.
Ten years ago, I had an undiagnosed heart condition, and erectile dysfunction was actually the first sign that something was wrong.
Luckily, I'm a doctor, an expert in sexual health, and Zach's dad.
Not everyone has a doctor in the house, and some health conditions can be really tough to talk about. We started Roman to change that.
Now you can go online and chat with a physician.
And if treatment is right for you, we'll ship genuine medication right to your door. If you're experiencing ED, hair loss, cold sores, or other issues, let's take care of it.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show. It is 17 minutes after an hour, wherever you live, that hour. Joining us now is a man who tried to tell us that the Vikings were going to go down to Superdome and stop the buzzsaw that is Drew Brees. I don't know how he predicted that the Vikings defense would show up like they were in the first half of the season, all of a sudden out of nowhere in New Orleans. I'm proud of this guy because he has a hell of a winning record, and every time he comes on the show, I feel like I learned something. Ladies and gentlemen, former general manager, author, this, that, you get it, Michael Lombardi.
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right.
I can see now what he wanted me to do with the phone. Now it makes more sense.
Yeah, you see. Yeah. No, the other way. Yeah, it's
there
there you go.
Yeah,
Hey, move a little closer though. You got to move.
I'm never good at geometry.
You got to move a little closer though because the name tag there is. Yeah. Hey, there it is. I have a bone to pick with you, pal.
Yeah.
Okay. So listen, I understand you have a big brain. Okay, I understand you have a big brain. You've won us a lot of money here with your picks. What's your record?
The regular season 46, 22, and 2.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But last week, in this particular room, we had built ourselves up that the Titans were going to be able to cover 5.5, no problem.
I know.
And then you come on the show.
I feel so bad. I'm telling you, you know, I'm look, the one thing I will say this to you. If you ever talk to a scout who never admits a mistake, he's a bad scout.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
I was wrong. I mean, I thought they would play at a much better level.
Okay, so
I didn't anticipate that Dietrich Wise would get driven off the ball 8 yards down the field. I thought their defensive line would at least show up, right? And I think that's one of the worst games I've ever seen the Patriots play in their front seven, ever.
Okay,
And that being said, if Edelman catches that ball.
Oh, come on.
Well, no, I mean, look, they're not the better team. Tennessee deserved to win. There's no doubt.
All right, let's talk about the Patriots now, though. You've been there. You've done that. There's a lot of speculation on what is possibly in the mind of Tom Brady. Does he want roster control? Does he want to be able to be a part of roster decisions? Does he want to be able to pick his own weapons? Does he want more money? What does he want, and what would it take to get to the Patriots? In your mind, what do you think it is that Tom Brady would need to stay with New England Patriots?
I think a little bit of everything. I think he needs to feel like the roster's ready for him to win. I think he needs to be financially compensated for past efforts and for future efforts. I think he needs to feel that there's mutual trust between the organization and himself. So I think there's a lot of factors playing into this that's more than just, do I play football or do I not? And I think it's going to take 30 days at least before the air gets cleared and everybody has cooler heads prevail. Today, Josh McDaniels is in Cleveland. Does he take that job? I don't know. He took his wife with him. He boarded the plane. I didn't think, if he got on the plane, my instincts told me he might take that job. So remove Josh from the Patriots now. Now that becomes another layer to this Tom Brady decision. What does happen? You know, what moves forward? And I think that there's so many unknowns that anybody who says with any definitive answer is really just guessing.
Okay, so do you think that Tom doesn't even know what Tom wants to do?
I think Tom doesn't know because you can't make a decision unless you have all the data in front of you. And right now it's way too early. It's too raw. I think the Patriots will take this week off. They'll go back in the office next Monday, not this Monday, a week from now, and they'll start to figure out what actually did happen. Why did we fail so poorly over the last 9 weeks of the season? What was the cause and the effect?
And do you think the reason why they performed poorly is because of personnel issues?
I think it had a lot to do with it. I think they had some injuries on defense. I think their defense, which was stellar for the first 9 weeks, didn't play to the same level. They're 4-5 over the last nine games. I think offensively, they never really replaced Gronk. And I mean, the reality of it is Matt LaCrosse and Ryan Izzo weren't going to cut it, right? And when they had Antonio Brown, that seemed like that could be the guy to replace him. But they didn't have enough speed on offense. They had no fullback that could really block. It was really, you know, when you build a football team, you know, it's like really building a car. There's the design and then there's the production. And so when you go back and look over the season, you have to decide, was the design wrong or was the production wrong, right? And I think in this case, they have a really good design. The production in terms of getting the players to fix the design really didn't work.
Okay, so you've worked for the Patriots. You've been a general manager before. We're talking to Michael Lombardi here. Do you think, Tom, because I played for the Colts, Peyton Manning, if he wanted somebody on the team, the person was on the team. If Peyton Manning wanted somebody off the team, the person was off the team. If Peyton Manning wanted to have a longer weightlifting session, we had a longer weightlifting session. Do you think now that Tom and Peyton are golfing in Jim Nance's backyard together and they're good friends, do you think Tom is expecting a little bit more say in decisions that are being made? Like, let's say it is personnel decisions or anything like that. Do you think that's in his mind at all?
First, before I answer that question, I think, Pat, you should definitely play the back hole at Jim Nance's home. It's magnificent. Okay, it's the seventh hole of Pebble Beach. It's absolutely spectacular. He plays master music in his backyard. He gives you little golf balls that you can hit that are rubber. He's got the bunkers, which look like the perfect bunkers at 7. He's got plaques on the wall of the home for anybody that gets a hole in one. You join that club.
Oh.
So I strongly urge you in your travels, Patrick, to take a trip out to Stevenson Drive, which is where his home is, and spend a little time playing that par 3 in his backyard. Now, to answer your
Hold on. What am I doing? Just show up? How's that?
I'll make the invite. I mean, you're a big time celebrity.
Is that real?
I'll hook you two up.
Is that real?
I think he would. Yeah, huh?
Is that real? You would get me into Jim Nance's backyard there to hit a hole in one to join that?
He would. Jim Nance, as I tell people all the time, Jim Nance is nicer in person than he appears on television, and he appears really nice on TV.
Clip that. We're saving that. Mike, you're an Italian.
So I will make an introduction. I think you should go out to Pebble. I mean, you truly are the sports equivalent to Bill Murray. I mean, let's be honest. You're entertaining. You've got a lot. You're all over. You should be playing the AT&T. Well, I don't know if they call it AT&T anymore. You should be playing the that tournament. You should go out there certainly, and you should partake in it. Now, to answer your question,
you should be
Brady has never operated under the same dynamic that Peyton did.
Okay.
Brady's never had that much say and that much authority within the organization. He's always been more of a teammate than a dictator. And if that changes, that's going to change the dynamics of how that organization runs. And I think that's a little bit harder of a question to answer.
Okay. So, Giselle made that post this morning, Connor, after what you just heard from Lombardi. He's gone, huh?
It hurts. This is terrible.
I didn't see Giselle's post. What did she say?
Oh, she was talking about World War III possibly, and this buffoon masshole here came sprinting out like crying because of this post saying, oh, well, Tom Brady's gone. Did you read Giselle's new post? And it's like about reflecting on ourselves and being nicer humans and stuff like that. He's like, she's talking to Patriots fans. I was like, I think she's talking
about Iraq and Iran.
No,
I'm not politically up to date, but she might be talking about something bigger than ourselves.
No, he's a buffoon. Okay, so let's talk about the games this weekend, Mr. Lombardi. What intrigues you the most?
I mean, this is a round, Pat, that I think the home teams win, as you know.
Okay.
This is the last 10 years. There's only been twice that the road team has won twice. It's typically a 3-1 weekend. It's had some 4-0 weekends involved, but mostly there's one road team that wins. It's figure out the road team who could possibly win. That, to me, is the challenge. I think it comes down to really two teams. If Minnesota can pass protect against a really good front, against a really good defensive front, I think they can move the ball on San Francisco, and I think they can create some problems for San Francisco's offense. Because remember, this is a little bit like an inter-squad scrimmage, right? Both teams run the similar off. Kubiak, Shanahan, it's all kind of intertwined. I think 7 points is a lot of points to give Minnesota. I would take that. I still think San Francisco wins the game, but I would say this game, more than Baltimore, more than Kansas City, lends itself to an upset. And then the other road team that I think has a viable chance to win are the Seattle Seahawks, only because I don't know how good Green Bay is, and I love Russell Wilson. Last week I went against them. I think Carson Wentz getting hurt really helped that. I think they would have won the game had Wentz not gotten hurt. But I think that this is a game where Green Bay's run defense could be suspect. Seattle, we know their run defense has struggled at times. But Seattle has this uniqueness to play close games. and I think it'll be a close game. We know they're going to be 8 to 10 inches of snow. This smells like Marshawn Lynch's type of environment.
Now, to be fair to Green Bay, because we have a owner in the room here, a guy who's partial owner. Aaron Jones led the NFL in touchdowns, running backs in touchdowns. Aaron Jones is he an All-Pro running back?
He wasn't.
He should have been an All-Pro. Should have been an All-Pro running back. And that offensive line for Green Bay, I think, takes a lot of pride in the fact that they have a great running game that can win them games, and they also win very close games too. What makes you lean towards Seattle instead of Green Bay in this close game matchup?
I think it'll be a close game, and I see if Green Bay wins, I don't think it'll be more than 3. And I think if you get 4.5 or 4, I would take that. I think that's ultimately why I'm going down that direction.
You think Packers win though, huh?
I mean, this one's a flip for me. I mean, look, I never count Seattle out. They're resilient. I mean, they are really resilient, and they find a way. And I think Russell Wilson, the way he plays, how do you count him out, really? And what makes you lean towards Green Bay, if you like, I mean, one thing about Rodgers, he may not have the same numbers that he once had, but I will say this to you, he doesn't turn the ball over.
Ever.
He's not going to make a mistake in the game.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the NFC or the Titans Ravens. I apologize. Titans Ravens. Titans were a team that you said was terrible last week. You said that they stink. Derrick Henry's not good.
I deserve it. Keep piling on. Keep throwing it.
Yeah, you said all these things. Now, this game in Baltimore, they said it's going to be swirly, windy, rainy conditions. It's going to feed right into that Baltimore fan base. And everybody would think that Lamar Jackson is ready to go, especially after what happened last year in the playoffs or whatever, how it ended. This year has been the Lamar Jackson season. Do you see anything in the Titans that they could potentially get this win in Baltimore, or is this going to be a landslide?
I think Baltimore's the better team. I think Tennessee got off the hook last week. The Patriots' offense didn't attack them on the outside perimeter. I think if you look at study Tennessee over the season, you can run the football on them. New England ran the ball effectively on them. They just didn't put it in the end zone. I think the ability of Lamar Jackson to make explosive plays, plus in the passing game, these corners for Tennessee, I don't think are going to be able to match up. I think it's a really good game for Baltimore. The one thing I do know, living on the East Coast here in New Jersey today, it's 60 degrees in January. 60.
What?
Yeah, it's warm, and it's going to stay warm all through the weekend.
It's going to be.
So this might be a rainy day in Baltimore with wind, but I think it's really going to be a warm, rainy day, unlike typical what it usually is.
All right, so you like the Ravens. You like the Vikings. You like the Seahawks plus 4.5, and you obviously like the Chiefs minus 9.5.
Yeah, I do. I really like the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are playing the best football of the year.
So good.
Their defense is playing much better. People say, well, they beat them one time before. The last time they played, the Chiefs were down 14-0. I mean, the Chiefs were up by 14 points. And Houston came back, and Houston could run the football. I think they've played better run defense over the last 6 weeks than they have going back to that game in week 6.
Number 1 defense in the NFL since week 11.
There you go.
How stupid is that?
Perfect.
That's stupid, by the way, because at the beginning of the year, the conversation was, the Kansas City Chiefs defense can't do anything. Patrick Mahomes has to score 40. And then all of a sudden, the Honey Badger and that whole squad got lit. And Terrell Suggs is there now. He can give you one good run every once in a while there. I think that defense could ultimately be a weapon for that Chiefs team.
I mean, I think if you want to play a future, I like Kansas City to go to the Super Bowl. I think they're really they're playing their best football of the year right now.
Okay. What do you got on tap for the weekend? Going to hang out at the house?
I'm going to do the VSiN show on Saturday and Sunday over at the lovely Borgata. I'm going to watch my man. We had a guy come in and bet $405K 2 weeks ago on the Cowboys. I tried to talk him out of it, Pat. He didn't listen.
Was that just straight cash? That was straight cash? Hold on. He had straight cash in a bag? He just walked in there?
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
Is he an Italian? He was an Italian.
Huh?
He was an Italian?
No, he wasn't. He was some guy from Connecticut who owns a company. And then last weekend he got his clock cleaned. And then here's what he did, which was fascinating. So after the weekend's almost over, he takes $135,000 and bets it on a 5-game parlay. That included it included the Seahawks winning. It had Illinois basketball. And it had two hockey games. And he won the first hockey game, and the last hockey game, it came down to a shootout with the Golden Knights, and he lost in a shootout, and he would have won $1 million.
Oh, poor guy!
He didn't hedge. He didn't hedge on the last bet.
This guy.
I don't know what he did. I don't know what he did. I mean, look, I try to give him advice. He said last week that he listened to my podcast, and I was against everything he believed in. So, he would have won money. But who am I to tell him?
You're a former general manager in the NFL, a guy that has pieced teams together, a guy that had to study opposing teams and give a report to Belichick on why they're going to win the winningest team. You should have told him that. You should, hey, pal, if you're
look, you can't. You know, one thing I love about doing the betting show, Pat, is you can give people advice. They're still going to bet on what they think. That's the best part about it. You know what Jimmy the Greek used to do? Do you remember Jimmy the Greek years ago? Jimmy the Greek, this is way when you were young. Jimmy the Greek used to do the NFL Today on CBS. It would start at 12:30. And he would literally pick 3 games, but he did it kind of covertly. I really like the Raiders by a field goal today, or, he would do it. So on his radio show, he would pick 3 games. And that was syndicated out to the country. And then on the TV show at 12:30, he would pick the opposite of what he picked in the first 3 games.
Genius.
So he was never wrong.
Genius. That's what we should start doing. That's a trick we should use. You got something, Diggs?
Mike, as a former GM, do you like any of the coaching hires more than the other coaching hires this week, or what do you think of the coaching hires?
Well, look, I mean, let's face it. Pat jumping into the river in Waco is the reason why Matt Rule got that job. I mean, there's no denying it,
You're
right?
saying it, not
he
me.
he baptized that water down there. He brought luck to him. There's no denying it, right?
Agreed.
I love Matt Rule. I'm a huge Matt Rule guy. My son worked at Baylor for 2 years. I've loved Matt Rule. I think he's going to do great things, maybe not initially, but as he builds that culture. I think McCarthy was a great hire for the Cowboys because he fits what the Cowboys want. They don't want somebody to come in and be the next Bill Belichick. They want somebody to come in and fit their system and their style. And then I think Joe Judge is a hardworking guy. I think it's a challenging job for him. Look, what I tell people all the time is Belichick was in the league 13 years, spent 8 as a coordinator, won 2 Super Bowls before he got his first interview. Now we're giving guys jobs after they get 3 first downs.
Guys are just getting pushes right now. They're just getting pushes and hoping for the best. They don't have the experience.
I like Joe, and I hope he does well. I really do. And, we'll see what happens today. There'll be white smoke coming out of Cleveland at some point today.
You think McDaniels
there's going to be a coach
on?
named Josh McDaniels is there right now with his wife. I think there's going to be a decision made. Either he takes it or, whether it's Kevin Stefanski or Robert Saleh.
What about Urban Meyer, man?
You know what, Pat? It could be. I mean, Haslam could say, "I don't like anybody. I'm hiring Urban Meyer." That would not surprise me at all. I have anybody who says they really are into the mind of Jimmy Haslam, they're lying too.
Those people don't know Jimmy Haslam. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. They don't know because he could talk to somebody later. I mean, who knows? I mean, I hope he does the right thing for his organization because Brown fans are great. They really are. They're passionate. They're tremendous. They travel. They deserve having a great team.
I agree. And we don't deserve you and your big brain on this show, but you come on every week. We appreciate it, ladies and
gentlemen.
Thank
you, Pat. Appreciate
Michael Lombardi. You're the best. The new year, you know what the new year's about? Huh. Well, it's about making sure you keep good batteries in your headphones. My headphones lost battery in the middle of that Lombardi interview, and I missed 6 sentences of his. And I caught the last word. And if I hadn't been a skilled, not listener, but average at continuing conversation guy, wouldn't know what was happening in there. So just know that I didn't hear everything he said, but every time that guy speaks, it's good. I like Lombardi a lot.
Yeah.
He knows.
He's good, man. Now, he talked us out of that Titans bet, though. I mean, I was willing to – I almost put this entire business on the Titans.
I mean, he's not inept to homerism.
Well, and also he said he admitted fault. The new year is about growth and change. If you're a business owner looking to grow your business, LinkedIn can help you find the right hires that can set you up for a strong year. I didn't use the right emphasis there. If you're a business owner looking to grow your business, LinkedIn can help you find the right hires that can set you up for a strong 2020. LinkedIn job screens candidates with the hard and soft skills you're looking for so you can hire the right person fast. What was that?
What are the soft skills?
Well, those are things like collaboration, creativity, adaptability. LinkedIn looks beyond the work skills and puts your job post in front of qualified candidates who match your business requirements perfectly. That's how LinkedIn makes sure your job post is seen by the people you want to hire, people with the skills, qualifications, and other interests that will help your business grow. It's no wonder a person is hired every 8 seconds with LinkedIn, and why companies rated LinkedIn Jobs the #1 hiring platform for delivering quality hires. Hey, good for LinkedIn.
Hey, all right.
Hey, good day. Find the right person for your business today with LinkedIn Jobs. You can pay what you want and get the first $50 off. Just visit linkedin.com/Pat. Again, that's linkedin.com/Pat to get $50 off your first job post. Terms and conditions obviously apply. We're back on the other side with some phones. You're talking. Nope. You're listening to the Pat McAfee Show.
At some point in their life, 52% of all men will experience erectile dysfunction, but most of them never get treated. Now there's Roman, the digital health clinic for men. With Roman, you can get genuine medication prescribed by a U.S. licensed physician, all from the comfort of your home. If medication is right for you, Roman delivers it with free 2-day shipping and in discreet packaging. Get started with a free online visit today at GetRoman.com/TV. Roman, let's take care of it.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. What a song this is, Frank. This is a hack music?
This is hack.
Woo-hoo-hoo. What's this called?
Shake it.
Oh, man. Shake it, hawk. I don't know where people listen to our show. I don't know where they listen to our show. I know they watch it on the YouTube and on DAZN. I don't know where they listen to it, but if you hear that one, I mean, that one grabs a hold of a bone and just starts going through your whole skin. It's
got Friday written all over it.
Yeah, that was a good feel-good song right there, Frank. I mean, not everyone is good, right?
Most of them actually bad.
And it's not your fault. It's just the selection. If you're new to the show, we're not allowed to play any good music because we don't have the licenses to play that. I guess it would cost a lot of money. So instead, we have a collection of independent music, hack music, that sounds like real music. And some of them, like that one, heater.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, like most of them, trash.
I feel like this week he's been a heater, though.
Who?
Whoa.
Nick.
Thanks, Seat.
The Let the Bodies Hit the Floor song a couple days ago?
Oh, yeah, we had a metal song. Let's go to Alex down there in El Paso, Texas. Alex, what's going on, pal?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Get out of here.
No, it's not bad. Zito wanted to pull the trigger on you. It's good, Alex. How are you?
Hey, so I wanted to ask, since apparently Tom Brady's going to leave the Patriots, they're going to need a quarterback over there in New England. What do you think about Teddy Bridgewater heading over to New England?
Love it. That's possible, too, and he's very good. I don't know if the Saints let Teddy Bridgewater out of that building, though, if Drew Brees isn't their quarterback next year. And I think Teddy Bridgewater and Sean Payton have a very good relationship. That's why Sean Payton had him be the highest paid backup quarterback, and that's why Teddy could have left and started somewhere else and said, nah, I'm a motorbike right back into this locker room.
He said he loves New Orleans, too.
And he went 4-0. I mean, he's probably going to be there for the rest of his career, if I had to guess.
So Drew in New England, then.
Oh. Drew Brees? Mm-hmm. How would you feel about Drew Brees as a New England Patriot?
I wouldn't hate it. Better than Andy Dalton.
He can't throw
Whoa,
that.
dude.
Whoa. Don't
Is he?
you say that about Andy Dalton.
Oh, we are not going to compare Brees and Dalton. No way.
I mean,
At this exact moment?
we are. Outdoors in Foxborough, Breeze's little heads.
Taller than 6 foot.
Great red hair.
Give me Taysom Hill.
People are going to hate.
That's what we want.
What just happened?
No, I would never. By the way, we all understand Drew Brees is a
Yeah.
goat. We all understand that Drew Brees got screwed out of the NFL all-time team.
Yep.
And guess who made the NFL all-time team? Say it.
Andy Dalton?
Nope. Say it.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Nope.
O.J. Simpson.
Orthol.
Let's go to John in New Jersey. John, what's going on, pal?
What's going on, fellas? All right, I got a crazy conspiracy theory. Ready for this one? The Patriots trade Belichick to Cleveland. He fixes everything there. Because you said that Brady wants player control. He's never going to get that with Belichick. So they promote Josh McDaniels. Why lose the offensive coordinator of the future who's 43 years old? And they get draft choices. Maybe an Odell Beckham, maybe 2 draft choices. And Bob Kraft finally gets control back of his team.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate that at all.
I like it.
I don't hate that at all. Now, I can't hang up on the guy. But I like... Is he still on right now? I think he's still on right now.
Tommy?
Might be the rain.
Is that the rain
I
coming
think-
through
I
our
believe
studio?
that is the rain, yes.
Oh, my God. If we survive this flood that's coming through
We're
Indiana,
supposed to get 4 inches of rain. That's a lot of rain.
that's a lot of rain.
I'm not going back to Cleveland.
I'm not. No, not a bad play there, though, right? Keep Tom Brady, keep Josh McDaniels. That would be saying Kraft, though, would be trading basically the guy that's brought him a lot of happiness.
Yeah, all of it.
But he also loves Tom Brady. But he loved Vince Wilfork, and Vince Wilfork
Yep.
left. They kissed each other on the cheek before every game, and he got rid of him. I think Kraft is loyal to and allegiant to Bill Belichick.
And you look at the team this year, offense or defense, who is better?
Wait.
Jamie in Ontario. Don't take shots at Josh.
What
McDaniels.
is happening, degenerates?
Hey, what's going on, pal? How are you up there in Canada, eh?
Oh, we're freezing our cannolis off up here, that's for sure.
All I love that a lot. What do you want to talk about, brother? Where's Ontario at?
I want to talk about the disrespect. Ontario, Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. Lake Superior. The end of Lake Superior.
Oh, okay. You're over here by Toronto?
No. I'm 16 hours away from Toronto. Ontario's a big place. We got to get to a map, Pat.
We used to have one. That's why I got this monoscope.
Am I pulling
Because
it
I
up?
used to be able to pull up on the map. Yeah, if you could please pull up a Canadian map. That'd be great. What would you like to talk about way up there deep in the meat of Canada?
I want to talk about the disrespect of the brand by the Madden people over there at EA Sports. I got all these legends popping up on my, but I got no Pat McAfee. What's happening there?
Yeah, the Madden Ultimate Team?
Well, I'm just playing Madden Mobile. Like whatever, the Legends or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's the MU. I don't know. I always get tweeted with MUT. What is that?
That's the Ultimate Team. Yeah.
The Madden Ultimate Team. That's where a lot of old players come back through, right?
Right.
It's the Madden Ultimate Team, and then you can
Right.
trade them onto other teams and stuff like that. I think there was a chance that was going to happen at one point last year. I don't know what happened. It fell through.
Missed an email?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's probably my
You got to
fault.
get your people to talk to those people.
Well, Jamie, I don't think you should be mad at Madden for it. I'm pretty sure this is 100% my fault. I'm pretty sure that's 100% on me. I appreciate you, though, man. That means a lot. Let's go to Ben over there in Dayton, Ohio. What's going on, Ben?
Hey, how we going, boys?
We going all over the place. We go into New Orleans this weekend.
Yep.
We go in to good lunch here after the show ends. We going into a weekend where we're gonna nap.
Going back to Cali.
We're not going there.
Oh, no.
We going
It's the only place we're not
going
going.
other places though. Ben and Dayton, where are you going?
I'm going head to a job right now. Quick question though.
Oh.
Say Josh McDaniels to the Browns. He's pretty much locked in. I'd have to feel safe to say about that. Does he stick with Baker and the boys back there? Or does he like bring in a Cam Newton, or what kind of quarterback does Josh McDaniels want in Cleveland?
I think he wants Tom Brady. But with that being said, McDaniels was on a plane and had the press conference scheduled to be a head coach of another team just a couple years ago. Now would be the right time to get out of New England, I would assume. Now would be the best time for Josh McDaniels to get out. I never thought Cleveland would be the place that Josh McDaniels would end up at, honestly, just because of the way the organization has been. Now, he wanted Denver to be a head coach. That legacy of the Broncos is a strong one. I mean, it is a very strong legacy. They've been there. They've done that. They had success. Now, he didn't bring them any success. He didn't have success there. Went back to New England, had a bunch more. But the pieces at Cleveland would be something that would draw the attention of an offensive coordinator. Yes, they have a lot of weapons. The only thing they haven't been able to do is figure out how to become a team, how to buy in, how to understand how to use everybody. Freddie Kitchens, for all of his positive goodness of being able to make people laugh and say dumb things and stuff like that, he wasn't able to utilize and get everybody on the same page. It would either be no wide receivers were being used and the running backs were being used, or running backs were being used and the wide receivers weren't happy. If McDaniels was to go to Cleveland, he would bring in this authority type figure that, hey, I've been there, I've done that, I've won. This is how we're going to do it. You can either get with it or get the hell out of here, which would be a good mindset. That's why I was kind of hoping he came to the Colts, by the way, because I think with Andrew Luck, that would have been a hell of a tag team. Not that Frank Reich wasn't great, but that's why everybody in Indy was excited for it. I just don't know if you can move Baker Mayfield at this point. Baker Mayfield is the face of your team. He's only had a couple years. Yes, this year he digressed from his first year, which could potentially happen, but I think Josh McDaniels and Baker Mayfield would be tied at the hip unless Tom Brady pulls a Hail Mary and drops his ass right down in the home of Bone Thugs and Harmony.
You would think that if McDaniels is as good as everyone thinks he is, then he'll get Baker to be able to get to that next level, whereas Freddie Kitchens couldn't.
And Baker can make every throw, right?
Yeah.
That's all
Sophomore
you really,
slump.
The other positive for him in Cleveland is he's going to have more roster control probably than he would anywhere else because they don't have a GM. He's going to help hire the GM, which when he went to Denver, that was a thing for him. They already had a GM, but he was obviously intricate in
Tom
drafting
Brady's
Tebow,
GM.
which was a disaster.
Tom Brady's GM and quarterback.
Michael Jordan, player, coach, Monstars.
Oh.
Jackie Moon.
Jackie Moon.
Pre-game entertainment. Get the funk out of my face.
Get the funk out of my face.
Huh. Get the funk out of my face. Get the funk out of my face. If you don't like my music, you don't have to use it. Gabe in Georgia.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you, Gabe?
I'm good. I was calling to talk to you guys about what's going on with the NCAA and the transfer portal. My team, Georgia, we got some good luck and some bad luck with it. And we just had a kid that started in the Sugar Bowl and just transferred out to go to Tennessee. What do you think's going on with the NCAA? Do you think this kid gets a waiver? What do you feel about it? What's up?
I don't know there's ever any consistency in who gets a waiver, who doesn't. I don't know who that kid is that he's referring to. If he graduated, he's definitely going to be able to play next year. I think the transfer portal has definitely added excitement and opportunity for the player side of this thing, because what I learned through my ventures in college football this year, going around talking to teams like SMU had 32 transfer in back to Dallas, or Houston, whose entire team basically is transferred in there, and other places that have utilized it as a weapon for players that didn't have the experience they thought they were going to have at their first school and come back. The transfer portal, when a player agrees to go to a place, it's a one-way agreement. They have to honor the kid, but the kid can pick another school before he's officially signed there. So, like, you can hop in the transfer portal and be like, you know what, I'm going to Tennessee. But then the day before you actually sign to go to Tennessee, you could be like, you know what, actually, I'm going here. So the coaches and the teams, they have to recruit the kid for the entire time until he's officially signed, which could be 5 months down the road, 6 months down the road. It's very interesting. I like it for the players. I think it's changing college football. It's just like free agency. Some teams will build through the draft. Some people will bring in free agents. I'll be excited to see how it works out. Thanks for the call. Thanks for the week. Feel Good Friday. Down. Michael Lombardi gave us his locks. Derek Johnson was a great conversation. Tom Brady's gone. Gisele's saving the world. Anything else?
Packers are going to win this weekend.
All right, Ty. Appreciate you there. I hope you have the best weekend of your entire life. We'll see you on Monday. I think I'll be in New Orleans, Louisiana. This has been the Pat McAfee Show. Thank you for listening.
Did you know over 60% of men experience significant hair loss by age 35? Some shave it or hide it, but some of us want to treat it. That's why there's Roman, the digital health clinic for men. With Roman, you can get personalized hair loss treatment and unlimited follow-up